But let me tell you about this woman that I met that's amazing. She goes by Mom, the boss, the entrepreneur, the teacher, the learner, and I would say anyone who's gotten to know her is a good friend. I'm also really honored to tell this group today that she is also being honored under Team Women Wavemaker Award for her community impact for 2024. So let's give her a round of applause. It's a pretty impressive award. And I believe she will be getting her award in October 4th or something, first part of October. As I've gotten to know this program and gotten to know these people, they never know how to say no. They make everything work in outstanding ways. So I would like to introduce to you a good friend, a great leader, a great thinker. She knows how to get you to do anything. Oh, Karen, that's a good idea. Why don't you run with it? She really knows how to get leadership out of individuals. So Dr. Irina Fursman, would you please come up? Let's give her a standing ovation while the Optimist leads.
Thank you very much. I found my peeps. I heard that at our table during introductions, and I feel the same. So first time when I came to this luncheon, or similar luncheon, in 2022, Richard and I were invited by Mike Erickson, Mike Erickson over there, good friend of ours, who felt that we have a story that we need to tell, and that story was of desperation, that story was of sadness, but also a hope that we can do something, we the Americans can do something to help Ukrainian people during tough times. So that was March of 2022. And when big boys, we call them, Red Cross, one of them, Soup Kitchen, and all the other big NGOs and nonprofits finally made their way to Ukraine 3 or 4 months later. We found another purpose. We decided to go back to what Global Synergy Group, a nonprofit organization that we established in 2012, knows how to do best, and that is focused on developing humans. And for us, that meant younger generation of people who 10 years from now, or shorter time frame, or sooner, will take the baton of leading their country. And so we returned back to that mission and re-energized U-Lead program. The first cohort, 2022, you saw Alessia perform this afternoon, and Ksyusha, who is serving as a chaperone. So some of you are asking, what happened to those students? Well, 2 of them are here. On their journey to continue to develop themselves and now give back and be part of U-Lead going forward in any way they can. So can I have Ksyusha and Alessa, please? If you guys can stand up so everybody can see the returning students from 2022. Okay. Alessa has been using her talents and voice to continue to inspire and motivate people. If you follow her on Instagram, you will see her performances in the front line and the back line, right, as we call it, both in motivating and inspiring soldiers, and also people who need to find that voice within themselves and others to help lift each other up. And Ksyusha has been working for 2 years from Kharkiv, and sometimes we'll get on Zoom calls, and she would say something like, I need to run to the bomb shelter right now. And then she'll get there and we'll continue to work and we'll talk about what the next steps are around developing the next phase of our program. So she's been instrumental in making sure that it continues. Optimism, I've learned looking at the dictionary, means, the definition is, hopefulness and confidence about the future of the successful outcome of something. Let me read it again. Hopefulness and confidence about the future or the successful outcome of something. It doesn't say it's guaranteed, right? It's hopefulness and confidence that it will happen. And that's what we're focused on. We're hoping to develop that sense of confidence in this generation so that they choose a path forward in which they can inspire others to be the best of who they can become, that they have the courage and the skills to make the changes that are necessary so that the people who are fighting on the front lines and people who are supporting on the back lines are working towards something better, that they're fighting and protecting something that everybody can be proud of in the end. So I'd like to welcome and introduce 4 speakers from our program today. And if you guys can stand up and make your way up front here, there are 4 chairs. And if you can line up with the first Ivan Shulyak, Anastasia Dabija, Anastasia Lavrinchuk, and Vladimir Potapov. Vanya, you can sit on that chair. So the students have prepared presentations for you. This is the program for today. And as they share their stories, what we've asked them to also share what they've learned through this time together and through their time in the United States. And so while Richard is helping up with getting the computer back alive, I also would like to celebrate some of the people in the audience that also helped tremendously to make this program a success. First, I'd like to recognize host families. So everybody who is a host family here today, could you please stand up? And let's give that group a round of applause. Thank you. Some of you are already members, some are not, some are returning second or third time to this event. And at some point, I hope you also become the peeps. The people who continue to improve themselves so that they can become the models for others to follow in a very positive, hopeful way. I also would like to recognize program volunteers, and specifically one of our own Optimist, Jim Collins. Can we give a Jim round of applause? And what Jim has done, not only the best picnic 3 years in a row now in Anne-Marie and Jim's backyard. It's also amazing to see this time Jim also engaging in bringing a business coach in having a business workshop as part of our program. We also have Lauren and Brett. If you guys can stand up. Now that I see you there, I can't not name you too. So Brett and Lauren both hosted workshops. So the program doesn't exist without host families and without people who step up to facilitate the workshops, to help share their leadership journey, to help people understand what that looks like in real life. Not only living and learning from your host families, also visiting in the workplaces. And the students will share the kinds of things that they've learned in the program, the events that you've participated. Are any luck there, Richard?
We made the mistake of getting it to work ahead of time.
Okay. Still working. So this afternoon, there is no leadership lessons learned traditional, but there's an opportunity for you all to stay, and there will be lessons learned from your lead. So now it's what have they learned and what we can learn from them during this time. So we'll spend a couple of hours from 1 to 3 to really reflecting on the last 5 weeks here in Minnesota and 2 weeks in Poland. That's what made up 7 weeks. And help both the students process and bring closure to the program, with certificates, of course, and the cupcakes, I believe, right? But then for all of us to send them back home with the sense of optimism. In the last 2 years, we started our program at the Optimist Club. This year is the first year where we're ending our program at the Optimist Club. So I would love for you all to be able to take some time, one-on-one, visit, and share your farewell, hopeful messages. We also have a tradition here at the Optimist Club. Many of you are writers and authors, right? We have a tradition of exchanging books. So Don has collected enough books for every student. And I've asked some of you also to bring books with you if you could, and I know you have, some of you have. So what we will also do is to award each student with one leadership book copy. And so you'll have 17 going to Ukraine. And that will start the library of leadership books that they can, upon completion of one, exchange with somebody else on the cohort and continue to exchange until all the books are read by every student. All right? So that would be something that we will do this time to keep staying connected and continue to learn. So maybe what we will do is to invite Vova first, since Vova doesn't have a presentation, Richard. Is it okay? All right, so let's welcome our first speaker, Vova. You might want to stand right here, Vova.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Volodymyr, but you can call me Vova because it's easier. I'm 16 now, and I'm about to tell you my story as a elite participant. I was born and grew up in Kharkiv. It is a city in eastern Ukraine. The city is very green, and it has great people. But war against Russian terrorism changed a lot. I used to go to school, and I really liked it, but it only took one missile for my academic dreams to be destroyed. All memories, special moments, chatting with friends, classes, all is gone now. But we don't give up, and now we study online or in subways. Then, situation with electricity, heating and water, which was bad when the war began, got even worse. Until now, we don't have electricity almost 20 hours each day. Situation with heating is also unclear. And we don't know how hard this winter will be for us. Also, this war is about people. People who suffer, people who are living in fear because next night you might not wake up. But the scary thing for me is how close my home city and my relatives are to Russia. It's just 23 miles away. We hear explosions first, and only then we hear air raid alarms, which are supposed to warn us about this. But one thing that helped us to fight is hope. Hope for the best, and because of this we are able to fight for our independence day after day. I hope none of you will experience things that we have to deal with daily. Despite tough living in Ukraine right now, people there still think about their future. As for me, after graduating from my school online, I'm going to study mechanical engineering in Germany and then come back to Ukraine. After getting a degree and knowledge from Germany, I will be helping restoring Ukraine. And one of my dreams is to find a way how to stop people suffering from war using engineering skills. Also, during program, we were creating some wonderful projects, and a couple of them I want to bring to life. Our program in Minnesota was divided in 5 weeks, and my favorite one is Business Week. We visited 4 business institutions, which are DEED, Blaze Credit Union, CHS, and WSB. As a person who is familiar to money and engineering, my favorite day was Thursday, when we visited WSB because it is an engineering company. The next day, we went to the state fair, which everyone liked so much. If I was given just one word to describe this week, it will not be enough. But if I was given more, they will be cognitively fascinating, great, and interesting. And one of the most impactful things for me was a workshop at Blaze Credit Union, which was about controlling family budget, and I understood that it is really hard to deal with all that things. We gained so much knowledge and met wonderful people this week, and I'm happy that I had a chance to be a part of it. One of the best parts of program were people, and communication with them is way different from communication with people in Ukraine. I was shocked when strangers were asking me how my day was. It is really unusual for Ukrainian mentality. And also, people are happy living in this country. They smile to you and always ready to help. Other part of this program that I liked was working in teams with other elite members. We were thinking of bunch promising projects, but one of them is my favorite. It is a non-profit about installing ramps for people with disabilities who lost part of their bodies because of the war. When we were in Protest Foundation, soldiers told us that the government don't provide people facilities they need, and we decided to change it by creating our own non-profit. And one thing I learned here is if you want to change something, you should stay engaged. But it is impossible without believing in yourself. So please, believe in yourselves, and you will reach all your goals. Thank you.
Vanya, can you go without?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. So, my name is Ivan. I'm 16 years old, and I was born in Kiev, from the capital of Ukraine. And today I'm here to present myself as ULI 2024 participant. So, a lot of time we spent in the United States of America with Richard and Irina Fursman, and especially with our wonderful team. And the first question, so how war has impacted on me? So since war was started in 2022, I didn't have school on this time especially, and in the first day we spent time in a bomb shelter, and it was really awful time there. And I would like to say that knowledge is one of the most powerful things that people can reach. And I would like to say thank you to all of my participants in ULEAD, because they made a lot of wonderful stuff. I appreciate all of them, and it's very wonderful time to spend with them. So unfortunately we didn't have presentation, but it was really a lot of photo. And so in the future I would like to spend my time mostly with connection about political science or international relations. And after graduation in the university, I would like to be interested in the United Nations and do work there. I mean, the work that connected with ecology problem, and especially the law of war, because for today, war and conflicts is the most attractable thing for us, and we need to solve it to find a compromise. And for now, I want to say about our first weeks that we spent in the United States. So it was a governmental week, and for the first day we went to state capitol and have opportunity to speak with John Hoffman, the senator of Minnesota. And I would to emphasize to that day that it was really interesting, and we know better each other. And the Senate in the United States, especially in Minnesota and St. Paul, have similar buildings like in Washington, D.C., and John Hoffman is a Democrat, and we have a conflict there, but okay. So the next day we spent in the fire department station, and we had the opportunity to speak with we had chance to speak with Sean, that was director of fire department, and we have also opportunity to speak with police station, and it was very good opportunity to get each other know better, because so a lot of difference between Ukrainian side and American side, it depends on service worker, and I would like to say that American service worker is better than Ukrainian. Third day we spent in the city of Bloomington, and we had opportunity to make a city of our dream, and a lot of people we know them. First day we spent in the city of Shoreview, and we had an opportunity to be a city council and make decision about ULI 25 members. The last day in this week, in the weekdays, was about golfing and curling with Richard and Irina, and it just was a relaxing day, but for all of us and for Ukrainians it was just first time to play golfing and curling. So about what's the most favorite part of the 7-week program, I would like to emphasize. I would like to emphasize that best I ever met in the elite team is our members, because it's really wonderful times that we spend, especially 2 weeks in Poland and then 5 weeks in Minnesota, and it's really good connection to get each other know, and I would like to emphasize knowledge I learned here is we studied non-profits here, and we spoke with a lot of influencers and a lot of businessmen, and we tried to make our own business, and I think we should continue our mission and try to make Ukrainian better. And I would like to thank you for your attention, and I would like to introduce the next participant is Anastasia Debizhin.
Good afternoon to everyone. My name is Anastasia. Today I would like to talk to you about volunteering and non-profit organizations through the prism of specific facts that will help to compare these activities here and in my native Ukraine, as well as involving my personal experience here through my youth and previous backgrounds. You can see the photo, it's me, and this square where Ivan told about tanks near it, so you can see it. It's this summer, so keep us standing. Our conversation is a conversation, not a monologue, because I want you to have a lot of questions for me at the end. It will be in the format of facts, which will be on screen only with my photos. Act 1, volunteering. I'm from Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine, and I'm 16 years old. But once I was free. This is a photo of me and my favorite person in my life, my dad. And you know, I have a lot of photos like this, but this is the one I received yesterday in messages from him as a memory. So I was free, now I'm 16. The war in Ukraine has been going on for more than 2 years. Volunteering. My dad no longer spends the nights at home. He decided by himself, volunteering, and not to some public center, but to the war. And I want to say that when you become a part of volunteering, because now you're part of the heart, maybe someone is volunteering, then the awareness of non-profit organizations becomes deeper. It's my photos. All of this presentation, it's my photos. So I'm volunteering too. My dad on the war, but I volunteer in Kyiv. And this is the university near the center of Kyiv. And it was like a few days from first photo, which you see. So volunteering.
What happened there?
This university was destroyed by a Russian rocket. So
You're cleaning up.
next day, me and my friends, we went to support. So a special thanks to one of the host moms, Mary.
Special thanks to Mary.
Who shared with our team the basic knowledge about non-profit organizations, because they were the ones who gave us the start to create our own future projects and non-profit organizations. Thank you, Mary. Act 2, peace, people, non-profit, total love. Visiting Marin, Center of Helping People with Disabilities, and Mayo Clinic gave me the impetus to think. Wanting to help non-profit organizations, salaries, money, business, love, what is it for America and what would it be in Ukraine? People here help. People here create non-profits. that are considered the best in the world, like Mayo Clinic. People here care about other people. While visiting the Center of People with Disabilities, the only one thing sounded in my head: total, endless love, which can fill everything with itself, seep even into the garden of this center, the backyard where these people paint and preserve the memory of those who have left. Total love and respect for those who organize and volunteer in these organizations. Act 3. Final. Is it possible to put a prosthetic heart? A heart that lives and breathes thanks to foundations like Protes. A heart that keeps faith thanks to those like Yakov, a man who makes hands for others with his own hands. Everyone should look of the military, veterans, people with disabilities who came to the Protest Foundation and be inspired. To be inspired by the strength and desire to live beyond everything, to live with all on the strength, to create legs, to conquer mountains. Can it be said that America strikes my heart? Yes, it impresses, conquers, inspires. I'm bringing to Ukraine not only experience, I'm bringing to Ukraine love, total respect and knowledge. The knowledge that everything is possible, everything is achievable. Volunteerism exists in Ukraine. Everyone is a volunteer in Ukraine now, because when a rocket flies into your house, it is the volunteers who will make sure that you wake up tomorrow in bed and with breakfast and not stay on the street. War brings many losses, brings many senses at the same time. I'm a journalist, beginner, young, however I want to be better professionally, and once upon a time a famous author in Ukraine told me a quote that I will forever remember when the conversation will be about Ukrainian volunteers. If the Ukrainians are told that nuclear warhead is necessary for victory, then in 2 hours it will not only be collected but also brought by volunteers, with tea to boot. I have not had enough time to speak on internal topics, but I have had enough time to give you reason to think. Thank you for your help, for your support, for your respect and knowledge.
We need a little time to transition, and then in this transition time, I'm just wondering, anybody has a question that you're just curious to ask right now?
I'm interested in, from a young person's perspective, what they think Ukraine will look like in, say, 3 to 5 years or some period soon after.
So, from young person's perspective, what would Ukraine look like 3 to 5 years from now?
I want to say that people will be very different, because now when youth generation will grow up and become adults, they will be way different than adults now in Ukraine. Because younger generation is more kind, more willing to help, more open to changes. So Ukraine will progress, and technologies, non-profit part, and all this will grow up.
Welcome everyone. Now it's my turn to give a speech. My name is Anastasia Dabija. I'm 16, and originally I live in Odessa, which is located in the south of Ukraine. So I wanted to start my speech with something that goes deeply into my heart, and I want to talk about my life before the full-scale invasion started. The full-scale invasion in Ukraine started on the 24th of February in 2022. That day left a huge scar in hearts of all Ukrainians. It has led to significant changes in lives of every individual. Today, I want to show you Russian war crimes from perspective of my home city. All these places I've usually visited when I was a child, and now they're destroyed. Now my city is not recognizable like it was when I was 3 years old. This is the Children Entertainment Center. You can see how it looked like. There is an apartment building behind it. Now, a year ago, Russian rocket destroyed it. This is educational center for students from local university, and the first photo is actually mine from 2021. That time I didn't even expect that this building could be destroyed. You can see such a beautiful building for students. This is how school is like for me right now. I'll return back home in a few days. And the first photo is actually, you can see me when I was probably 12. Can you find me on this photo? And the second photo was taken probably a few days ago. One of my classmates sent it to me. And this is the bomb shelter where all the students hide when there's an air alert is going on. So soon, like every person who is a part of elite team will go back home and will probably experience the same, and we'll be sitting in the bomb shelter, which is really sad, but we really appreciate this experience that you that you spent your time for us to relax and to enjoy our lives like teenagers. So now let's talk about future. Even though war is still in its active phase, we do not need to forget about our development, because we are the brightest future of Ukraine. The career path I would like to pursue is based on personal interests, medical technology and business. Before the elite, I couldn't even imagine how these two spheres can be connected. Thanks to the program and Irina and Richard, we were able to broaden our knowledge of multiple types of businesses, and not only businesses, but also 3 other topics. As my topic is the 3rd week, healthcare, I want to tell you what we've done that week. Monday, it was a Labor Day holiday. We were really happy that we've got time to relax, to sleep more. And then on Tuesday, oh no, back to work. Back to sitting 7 hours, studying, learning, meeting new people. The first day, it was Tuesday, was visiting a protest foundation where we not only got a chance to meet with brave Ukrainian soldiers who lost their limbs due to war, but also to discover the way of how prosthetics are made for them. Actually, from that day, I only remember that we were all sitting, almost crying there. It was really hard to see that. And I don't know, people who work there, they're really like superheroes. On the Wednesday, it was a day a lot of participants, including me, myself, have been waiting for so long. Behind the scenes tour of the best healthcare center, Mayo Clinic, and surprisingly, we met 2 girls from Ukraine who are currently working on a scientific research there. You can see them, and this is their work. It is really an exciting moment when you come to a new place and then, oh, someone there also speaks Ukrainian. Wow, people! There are so many Ukrainians around the world. Actually, I didn't know about that. On this photo, you can see that we also had a lecture about psychology and how to deal with stress and anxiety. Now, it's time to talk about something more fun. I don't want you all to fall asleep during my presentation. Actually, it would be really sad for me. So, I'll tell you about the fun part of our program. My favorite non-educational one was spending the whole day at high school at Maple Grove. Can you imagine 2,500 high schoolers singing and dancing at the same time in the school gym? This is how our Pep Fest went. Such an amazing experience. I probably have a video of it. Didn't manage to put it in this presentation. It will probably be too loud if I'll put it in. Actually, we enjoyed it really much, and we enjoy being a part of your culture and being able to experience what your children or maybe your grandchildren experience every day. Oh, this is actually fast. And was the girl who was like my mentor in high school, Adia. I really appreciate her, and really I still in connection with her. So I want to talk how program affected my life and how it changed my vision on my future. While enjoying American cultures, our team was also brainstorming about how our knowledge can be used to rebuild Ukraine. Together, as a team of 5 people, we are planning to create a non-profit organization which is aimed on helping soldiers in hospital to recover from war trauma. We plan to communicate with psychologists and other volunteers in Ukraine for them to gather together and be able to help these people, because when we were at the Protest Foundation, we really saw how it affects them, and that the soldiers are really comfortable when someone asks them about what they went through, and they really love being in a company with good people that really understand them. So, as a person, I've discovered the main message of the elite program, and it is hidden in these simple words. Communication is a key to success. You always need to talk about what you want to do and what is going on in your country. People need to know what is going on right now in Ukraine. The last slide is really a terrifying experience we've all had. It was Ahmadit Hospital is the same as Mayo Clinic here, the best children's hospital in Ukraine, where children with cancer and all really hard disabilities and health problems go every day, and it's their last chance to live full life. So it was destroyed by Russia on July 8th this year, just a few weeks before we headed to the United States. So I don't want to end with a sad story, but it is how it is. So thank you all for your support. Thank you, Irina and Richard Fursman. Thank you, our host families, and thank you, other participants, for making this time really great. And I can say that it's a best experience of our lives. Thank you.
Pictures. All right, so now we have a little bit time of, Chuck, how much time do we have? 5 minutes? We have about 5 minutes for questions. I'm gonna stay right here, so whoever is ready to answer any of the other questions that might come up. So let's see. Do we have any questions? Yes, one in the back. You know our country preparing for presidential election.
And sadly, we're really poor. Our country's full apart. If you had an opportunity to say something to a few political parties, what would that message be?
As you know, our country is being pulled apart through the political divide. If you were to say something to American people about that, or to 2 different parties, what would your message be to 2 different parties?
I have a house sister in my family, and when you talk with other American teenager about war, about political situation in your and my country, it's different. But the main what I understood is that people are dying right now in Ukraine. We have a war, and our mission here is to popularize the situation, what is going on. So I think that we need support, we really need it, and we really appreciate that America gave it and give us. So I just want to say that it's very important to believe in our win and our victory, and it will be. So I hope that Ukraine and America will support each other in the future as much as we can. Thank you.
Thank you. I come from Uganda, and part of my country, the northern part, went through war for more than 20 years. And at the end of the war, it's like children had not gone to school. It's like they had no skills, like to move to another level. And the country needs now so many therapists, so many people to help these children and this community. I'm just wondering, how are you coping mentally, emotionally? I mean, if when you're in this bomb shelter, what is going on in your mind, and how are you fighting back? I hope that's a clear question. Thank you.
I don't think that right now, when I'm sitting in a bomb shelter in Ukraine, I have thought only about, oh no, rockets are flying like everywhere and I'm in danger. Sometimes I only focus on my future, on what's going on daily basis, and it really helps to prevent, because when you become too much focused on what is going on and that your body is in danger, then being more than like 2 years in such a stress, it's almost impossible to keep with that, and you just need to focus on other things and to think about your future and what you need to do for it, what do you need to do to change your country and to help other people.
As for me, I think it will be hope and also just the thought that, come on, you're alive, you need to move forward. And another is, I will not change anything if I will just be upset all the time, because on my shoulders, in my hands, the future of my country, and I want my children grow up in Ukraine, in peaceful Ukraine. So if I will be sitting and thinking about how bad this war is and doing nothing, I won't change anything.
I think we should give them all another round of applause, all the students in the room. So we always give the speakers a Optimist Creed plaque, so we have one for each of our students right here. So thank you very much for presenting today. And your words of, you're our future world leaders, you're not just Ukrainian leaders, so thank you for all you do and all you're going to do, so thank you very much. And Irina and Richard, I think we should give them another hand too. So.